So for this lab, we're going to build a basic app for iOS and Android, and we're going to use the Buildfire platform for that. You can actually get to Buildfire by just going to buildfire.com in your browser, and what this is a simple online platform that allows you to build apps. So I'm going to click Create My App for free, and it's going to ask you to pick a template first off. We'll go ahead and pick the Children's Community Organization. You can pick whichever of these you like. We're just going to delete everything out of it. I'm going to go ahead and click Choose this template. It's going to ask me for a name, IND250, my awesome app. Put my name in here. No matter how many times you do this, it's going to ask over and over again for your email address and password. So go ahead, if you've done it before, just go ahead and enter the same information. If this is your first time, just pick a password. I'm going to go ahead and click Start Building. And you can see on the right side, it's going to give me a nice preview of what the app is going to look like. The first time you do this, it's going to ask you to go through a tutorial. You can go ahead and step through that, watch the videos, learn a little bit more. The way the whole thing is set up is around these plugins. So plugins, if I click on my plugins, you'll see these basically represent the pages or the views, what you're actually going to see when you click on the app here. Now, there is a bug here. If you try to delete things right away, it actually gets broken. So we're going to not do that. If you go to side menu, we'll go ahead. This is just going to show you all of the different things you can get from that pull-out menu. We'll go ahead and remove all this stuff. We want to start very basic. Everything you do, it's going to go ahead and save it automatically. Now that I've done that, I can go into my plugins and I can hit delete. This part's going to be a little tedious because there's a lot of these. There's probably about a dozen or so. And I have to delete each one individually. I haven't really found a great way to start from scratch in this application, so we'll go ahead and get all of those out there. Now that we've done all of that, let's go ahead and get this last one. And for some reason that one's just not going away. Let's see if we can go ahead and try one more time. Delete it. Nah, it's still not working. Maybe it'll go away in a second. So we're going to add a plugin. We want a home plugin. Now there are a lot of different things you can choose from. They give you the ability to show different content in your page or in your app, but we'll go ahead and search for home, and we're going to add, we'll just call it simply home. Now this will give us kind of the basic screen that we want to start with, and we can add more information here. We can add design to it. We can put our logo into it. We can do all sorts of things here. We can change the layout style, add background images, etc. But for now, let's go, now that we have this, we'll go into my plugins. You can see that last one, it did go away eventually. We're going to go ahead and set our home plugin in appearance. So if I click on appearance, you can see here my home plugin. I'm going to go ahead and pick it. I'm going to pick home and apply that. So now I have a homepage plugin. We'll call this my awesome app. Will just be the app icon name. I'm going to go ahead and we'll upload an image here. So I have an image of the logo I want to use for my app. Go ahead and just upload that, and then I can use that. Click insert image, and now you can see that's there. And if I want to change my loading screens, we can really make this our own. We'll just use this for every one of these. So every loading screen we have, we'll just use the basic logo for that. There we go. So now we have this all set up. Looks like our own app. That's very good. And this is just a basic home plugin. So we've got that selected. You can verify that. We've got the home plugin here. So now when we go into my plugins and we go to our home screen, we can edit that. And we can actually see what that's going to look like. So we could add different images. We could add different plugins. We can change the design here. We could even throw our logo in again. Go ahead and insert that. You can see now that shows up. We got a nice logo there. We can add additional plugins too if we want to have different content. So let's think about a couple of different plugins we can add. I'm going to go ahead and click Add New Plugin. And one of the things we could do is we could add Sheets from Google Sheets. So you can see here I can add this, and then, if you wanted to share some data, maybe have some information you want to have, I could actually go into some Google Sheets and I can click Add, and we can say, all right, we're going to call this one Interesting Spreadsheet. Or we can just call it Interesting Data. I'm going to click Add here, and now I have this, and it's going to ask for a URL. So here it's going to give you some basic instructions, but if you want to share this, you go ahead and click the Share button in the top right. You want to click Get Shareable Link, That should make it so that anybody can view this, and it automatically copies that link to the clipboard. So now if I go back here, I can paste that in, and I can validate that, and you can see now I can show my spreadsheet right here. That's saving, and if I go into my plugins, you see I have my interesting data view, and I have my home view. And if I go into home, now I can add my interesting data. There's a button here, and you can see that show up. And you can do the same thing for documents as well. If I click Add New Plugin, I can just go ahead and search for Docs, and I can click Add, and we'll say Interesting Report. And again, you go into the document, you click the Share button, and click Get Shareable Link. That'll allow anybody to view it. And we'll go ahead and paste that in. Well, it doesn't like my URL. Let's go ahead and try that again. I might have had the wrong URL there. There we go. So we'll go ahead. There you go. And you can see it's just going to show you a nice preview of the document. All right. So now we have a Sheets plugin and we have a Docs plugin. And if we go into our home, go ahead and click Edit. We can add that Doc plugin we just had too. There we go. So now we have interesting data, interesting report. We can actually add one for images too. Go ahead and click Add New Plugin. And there is one in here called Media Center. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. We'll go ahead and call this Charts. If we want to upload some content here, we're going to go ahead and maybe we'll add some images. So let's upload a few more images. We'll upload my awesome chart here. We'll also upload my other awesome chart. We'll insert both of these images. And these are just going to be charts, and we can put some basic information here. These are some great charts. Don't they illustrate the points nicely? So you can put a little bit more descriptive information in here, but this just allows us to share some other information. So now if I go back to my plugins, I can go into home again, and now I can add that last one right here. So I can add charts. And I could even go ahead and I could edit this plugin and add an icon to it, but you can see how our app is coming together. We have this nice pull-out menu. We have some reports. We could actually add all these things into a pull-out menu here. We can go ahead and maybe we want to load everything. There we go. So now we have all of our information here in the app. Looks pretty good. Now let's say you want to add just some text. Maybe we want to build like an about page. We'll go ahead and add one of those. About this app. Click Add. Now we can edit this text, this basic text. What it has here is text. What you see is what you get. That's what WYSIWYG stands for. We could say this is a great app that talks about all of the great things we did this term. And we now have this nice text app, your text plugin. So we could add this into our My Plugins. If we go into our home screen, we can add that. We'll click Add Plugin Instance and add that as well. So you can see our app is coming together nicely. We have a couple of different things we can do. We have a couple of different pieces. We can go into the side menu and add that as well. So as soon as that comes up, we should have our About page as well. Now, beyond this, you can actually add some of your own content. If you don't want to just add things that you already have out there in Sheets or Docs or images, you can actually create plugins using HTML and JavaScript as well. So one of the plugins in here is a editor. We could just flip through each one of these here, and we can see we have a custom. There we go. We go ahead and click Add. We'll say something else. And we'll add this. And now with something else, we can typewrite real HTML. real text. You know, this is real HTML. My own HTML. Oh. And you can see how that looks. And here you can put something in a block quote. I can put any HTML in here. We could also do divs like div ID, right side, and we could say we can even use CSS. And then here under CSS, I could do, you know, a tag or a couple of selectors for that. We could do text align right, margin 20px. Maybe we want to use a different font too. Font family, maybe we want to use Arial. Arial's popular. There we go. Maybe we want to make it bold. And maybe we want to make it italic. How about that? So now that we have this this plugin set up, we can go back into my plugins. We can add that to home. Oh, wrong one here. Let's go back. My plugins, edit home. And we'll go ahead and add a plugin instance for something else. So now that we've done all of these things, we have a couple of options for previewing our app. Now, if you want to try to publish this in the App Store and have it easily available, you can do that. I think that you have to pay to actually publish your app in the App Store. But they do have a preview app that you can get. If you just do a search for Buildfire preview app, you should be able to get that from the Play Store, from the Apple Store, but you know, that'll give you the ability to open that right on your phone, or you can click preview on phone. And you can put in your phone number here, you know, and you can put in whatever you like. And that will send you a text message with a link that you can open directly on your phone. It's really up to you how you want to do that, but this will allow you to kind of build out your app, test your app, validate it, and then if it is something you eventually want to launch after you've kind of put your content together in a way that makes sense to you, in a way that you like, you can actually, you know, pay for the account and try to put this into the App Store. So Buildfire gives you this really easy to use platform that allows you to create these basic informational apps and kind of do a lot to customize them and build it, you know, out to your own needs. So hopefully you've enjoyed being able to build your own app, and thank you for watching.